Hello everyone, this is Akash Srivastav, your law mentor, and today I'm here with a very interesting topic for our Strategize with Get.Set.Law. So you must be wondering that we are only left with 1 month, not even a 1 month, and what exactly we need to do for legal current affairs. So if we see the trend, past year trend of CLAT, we can say that in every year's paper, there will be one or more than one current affairs topic. So when we talk about current affairs topic, we are talking from the law point of view. So if we are talking about the legal aptitude section, you will see that there will be one or more topic related to law that have been either passed that year or there may be some other judgment. So when we talk about other passages, when we talk about the core laws that we study or that we discuss in lecture, that is tort law, contract law, constitutional law, it becomes very easy to understand and comprehend. But when we talk about the legal current affairs, it becomes very difficult for the student to understand what exactly will be the scope, how exactly we need to prepare. So this session will be focusing on which all topics you need to prepare and how exactly you need to approach legal current affairs for CLAT examination. So students, you must be wondering why exactly we are discussing this right now. So if you are preparing for CLAT examination, you are also preparing for current affairs. And when we talk about current affairs, you are also preparing legal current affairs. But when we talk about legal aptitude section, I'm not talking about the knowledge wala part. I'm not talking that you have to retain these all information for legal aptitude section. But when we talk about covering current affairs topics, the whole objective is that you should be accustomed with the topic. The whole objective is that if you read that particular news in the passage that you have covered in legal current affairs, it should not act as a surprise, because it usually happens that if we talk about other portions, if we talk about tort, contract, constitutional law, these all subjects you are aware. So these are subjects you are familiar with. So to eliminate the surprise element, we need to cover current affairs also related to law for your legal aptitude section. So students, if you want to prepare for legal current affairs topics, also the passages that may appear in the examination, first of all, what exactly you need to do? You need to understand that areas that needs to be covered for this examination. So there will be multiple areas. How exactly you are going to cover that? First and the most important point will be major judgment by Supreme Court and major High Court. So when we talk about legal current affairs, all the major judgments, all the major cases that happened that year, first of all, you will have to make a list of. The second will be new enactments and amendment to existing statutes. So if there's any change in any particular law, existing law, so you need to understand that what change have been made to that particular law. And if there is any particular law came into picture, there is no change in the existing law, but there's a new law that came into picture, first of all, you will have to understand what exactly was the need of that law or few of the major pointers of that particular act. Then proposal of new policies also. If there is any policy related to law, you need to understand that. You will have to know a very basic pointers about that. Then major change of laws in other countries also, because when we talk about CLAT, they are not only focusing on the territorial law, they are also focusing, or they are also asking questions from international law also, international current affairs also. So you need to prepare from the current affairs or legal passages from jurisdiction point of view also and international point of view. Then important news related to law fraternity. So this particular point will cover each and everything. So earlier we discussed that you need to cover policies, you need to cover amendments, you need to cover new changes in the law, you need to cover all the major judgments. But when we talk about the laws or the news related to legal fraternity, it would include each and everything. So these are the few of the major pointers that you need to cover for your legal current affairs topics. So when we talk about the passages that may appear in the examination, these are the topics that you can focus on. One important thing also, students, that when we talk about covering these topics, we are not saying that you will have to retain each and every information. So how exactly you need to approach these topics, we are going to discuss in the next slide. So when we talk about covering legal current affairs passages for your CLAT examination, the basic route is that you don't have to start from scratch, because you have already done so for your current affairs topic. So while you are covering current affairs from the last 1 year, so you must have covered legal current affairs also. What exactly you need to do right now to make a overall preparation for the passages also? First of all, you will have to make a list of all the legal news that happened in last 1 year. So you must have written down your notes also while you are reading the passages from your magazines also. You must have covered that. First of all, you will have to segregate and make a list of all the legal news topics. Then you will have to classify those news on the basis of the last slide, whatever we discussed, that these are the major areas that can be asked in the examination: major judgments, amendments, statute, new policies, or any particular news. You will have to classify these news according to this. The third and the most important point, as I've shown in the slide also, first of all, you will have to write the news. Then what exactly happened, you will have to cover that. So why exactly that news or that particular, say, event was very much popular. Then the third point that you will have to cover will be the personalities involved. And when we are talking about that these all pointers, these all columns you need to prepare. You need to prepare for each and every area. So first of all, you need to prepare for legal judgment, then you will have to prepare for amendment, then you will have to prepare for any statutes coming into picture. So for every area, you will have to make a similar columns. Then the third, as I said, that is personality involved. So if there's any particular judge involved or any particular, say, ministers, law ministers involved, so you need to know who was the person who was concerned or who was in news related to that particular lawfare. The third will be area of law and specific provision involved. So you also need to understand that this particular news is related to which area, whether it is related to constitutional law, criminal law, say cyber law, international law. You need to classify that. And the second part will be that if there is any particular provision or section that is very important in nature. So for example, when we talk about constitutional law, there will be a lot of news around Article 21 or Article 14 or Article 19. So you need to know which all articles are involved and a basic information, basic knowledge about these articles. Then landmark judgments, if any. So if there is any particular current news or current judgment, so in that judgment also it may happen that past year ka koi particular judgment was referred. So you need to know that judgment also. So for example, if you are covering, say, Article 21, so all the important judgments related to Article 21, you should have a basic idea. And the last one will be remarks. So if the information that you need to retain or you need to know regarding that particular news is not covered in any of the columns, you need to cover or you need to write it down in the remarks column. Again, when we talk about the whole setup, this will make your study or make your preparation a bit easy. Also, students, one important thing that when we are talking about classifying the news or segregating the news or making these all columns and filling the information, one and the most important thing is that you don't have to retain each and everything. You don't have to mug up each and everything. The whole objective is that if the same passage or the passage related to the same topic comes in your examination, then you should be very much accustomed. You should not feel surprised कि अरे ये क्या आ गया. So the whole objective is that the word, the terminology that will be used in that passage, you should be very much comfortable with. So students, this was all with respect to today's session. In today's session, we discussed why exactly you need to prepare legal current affairs for legal aptitude section. The second point that we discussed, the major areas that you need to cover. And the third is the approach that you need to use while covering legal current affairs topic for your legal aptitude section. I hope the session was informative enough and you will use the strategy for your preparation the left of the days. Thank you. Thank you very much.